All the rolling go, where am I to go? Meet Johnny, where am I to go? For I'm a young and a sailor lad, and where am I to go?
Hello, and welcome to Where Am I to Go podcast. Today we are in Astoria, and one of my first podcasts out, maybe within the first 10 or 12, was the Astoria Underground Tours. We were on a trip, senior trip for my granddaughter, and she wanted to see the Oregon coast. We ended up back here at Astoria Underground Tours. We took the tour again. These guys, Jeff and Chad, said, "Hey, I got something new to show you." So here's an update on something new to show us. We are here with Chad. Jeff decided to sit this one out, but we are in a new section that they have just kind of opened up. Tell us about it, Chad.
Okay, yeah, so this is our new section, and it's a little different than our normal tunnels. What's really cool about this, if you look up here to your right, you can see the glass tiles that are in the sidewalks. We're actually looking underneath, looking up at them, and you might see people walking across through there.
Now, what he's talking about when he's saying the glass tiles is they got a grate over the top of these tunnels that they put glass squares in, and the light shines down through in order to light up the tunnels. And if you're in a lot of old towns and some of that kind of stuff, you'll see what look like glass tiles in sidewalks. I've seen them in several different towns. Never knew what they were until a couple of underground tours. And the light comes through and really illuminates fairly well. It
does. Actually, if you look down the hallway here, all that light down that hallway is coming from the glass tiles. So you can see when they were clean and clear, not purple, it worked. It lit up your basements. It gave really good light.
There is no artificial light in here.
Not in this part, there isn't.
And you can see very well.
Yeah, for sure. And then if you look up here, you probably just heard that big loud noise. That's why I don't walk on those metal doors.
Okay.
You see them in the sidewalk. They're freight doors. They kind of butterfly open. There's two doors in them. And so if you go to the furniture store, they actually have an elevator, to put freight out. I've seen staircases. I've seen conveyor belts. But most of them are just like this. There's nothing there. So, and that's why I don't walk on those.
Wow.
And we...
Linda just had to take a detour now.
Yeah. And then, so like, in our tour, we love walls. And what's cool about this wall is pre-fire from 1922. And you can kind of see how they just kind of tore the wall down. They built around it. Yeah. Now, when we get down to the end, I'm going to show you this. This is a really amazing, cool wall. We'll eventually get down to that way and work over there.
And we're walking down a hallway that's probably 6 foot wide, solid brick on one side, concrete pillars with concrete ceiling, and into some different rooms. I'm assuming these are underneath some of the businesses.
Yes, this is the 11th Street. And where that first glass tile was, that would be where the 11th Street Barber Shop is. So if you're up top, if you go in front of the barber shop, and that's actually the first set of glass tiles you'll see, the lowest set in the store is right there.
Okay.
So we're going to come down through here.
Wow. So now, do the businesses still use these basements at all? I mean, there's not a lot of storage or anything in here.
Yeah, not like they used to, because businesses used to have storage. They'd store stuff. But now, you hit a button on Amazon, it's sent to you. Most basements, they're empty. Some of them, they're real nice and clean, but this one just isn't. You can see like this, the big, that would have been the furnace, the big boiler that heated up the whole room, and that would have been the gas, where the gas or the oil they kept right there. So that's pretty cool. And the staircase there, that would have went up to the business right there.
And so do the businesses still have access to this?
Oh, yeah.
It's part of their business.
Exactly.
Okay, and how do you guys get access? You have to ask permission from the business owners, or they just don't really care?
No, we... on that, no, we rent or lease that building, so we have access to this.
Okay,
Yeah.
I see how that works. I was just wondering.
Yeah, so if you rent it or lease it or own the business, this is all yours, the basement, and the businesses own all the way out to the streets. So the sidewalks, it's all up them. They own. They can go under there.
So they can access the tunnels anytime through their business basement.
Exactly.
Wow.
But most of them, they've been blocked off with walls to keep people out from coming in and stealing stuff and robbing.
Right.
So
Like this stairway has definite floor all the way across it to where there would be no way to access.
And this stairway is really cool. I'll talk about it in a little bit. But what's cool about this is just look at all the wear marks.
Oh, yeah.
This is a 100-year-old staircase just from people walking up and down it here.
And the thing that's cool about it is, like you were saying, it's worn to where you see flat, then a dip, then flat, then a dip, because right foot, left that dip in the middle.
Oh, yeah, for sure. You're right. Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
These are all wood walls down here, too.
Oh, everything. I mean, just look at these beams up here. They're amazing.
Oh, wow.
You won't find beams like that.
Oh, heck no. That's a what, 8 by 14 beam?
Yep. Now,
where are all the knots in the wood?
There are none. This is amazing.
That is just phenomenal.
Yeah. Now, when we talk about the Level Auto Company or over at Fort George, if you go over there, the beams, I'd say they're 5 times that size.
Are you serious?
Because they park cars on them.
They park cars on it.
Yeah, they're huge. It's just you probably wouldn't even find trees like that now anymore around.
No.
Yep.
And if you did, they wouldn't let you cut them down.
Oh, for sure. So what's really cool where we're at now, so the Jack the Cat story is 100% real, but that was just kind of a mock-up of where he lived.
Right.
We're actually now on Commercial Street, and we're underneath the commercial barbershop right now.
Okay.
So this is actually the basement where Jack the Cat lived. And what's cool, we started coming down here. See all these receipts? They're made out to the commercial barbershop. And there's one from 56, there's one in here from the 40s, and the flood was in 48. And so that's when Jack the Cat would have been here in the 50s.
Wow.
Yeah. And this one, Bob Gould. Remember I just pointed him out? That's his signature, Bob Gould's signature. So it's really cool to put your story together, to see all this stuff, and the clippers, the instructions for them.
And if you want to remember Jack the Cat, you need to go back to the Astoria Underground Tour podcast. I don't know which number it was, but it's way back. And you'll hear the story of Jack the Cat along with a whole lot of other ones. But this is, wow.
Yeah. So I talked to Bob later on, and he goes, so he said, so that was a staircase that actually went to the commercial barbershop. It used to be open.
Okay.
So they go in the barbershop, and that would have been the back. And he said, we came down, and he said, we put the black vest on. And there's the black vest right here. They've been down here that long. So we'd come down, Jack the Cat wore a black vest. We'd put our black vests on, and we'd go up to the commercial barbershop, and we'd cut hair. And so it's really cool to just see all this, receipts all made out to the commercial barbershop. From the
and so was this shoe shine shop right here also?
Yes, this is actually, the shoe shine was down here and where he lived. Now, after the 9.5 years, he did come back up top, but he kept the shoe shine in the back of the barbershop. And like I said, it was about 3 tours ago. Actually, it was last weekend. We had a guy that came through the tour, and he still lived in the store. And he said, yeah, I remember seeing Jack the Cat. And he said he always dressed real nice. He'd stay up top on the sidewalk and keep the sidewalk swept. And he was saying that when the Navy ships would come in, a lot of the black guys, they'd see Jack the Cat, and they'd ask him, hey, where are the black areas? Where can we hang out with? And he'd tell them, well, I'm it. But they loved Jack the Cat. Everybody I talked to him just said he was the nicest guy you'd meet. So, but so this is actually
is that his cot
right now? That was down here. I mean, all this was already down here. I'm not exactly sure if that was his, but it's possible.
Everything's in a state of decay, but there's a foot locker down here. There's a cot. There's several things that are just really interesting. Wow. I can't even imagine staying underground for 9 years straight.
Yeah. So these, it's hard to see, but these are the booklets from Pay Cashier. So if you were chair 1, number 64, you'd go take up to the cashier and it'd say, like for $1 the haircut. And these were the things they'd hand you after you got your haircut.
Wow. This has got to be so much fun coming down here and looking for this stuff. And
it is. And
the history, just the history.
And to have your stories being told, you can see it. It's a fine, you can start proving it. And this is Western Auto, which is commercial barbershop. But we're going to go on the other side of the wall is where Western Auto used to be.
Okay.
It used to be right down here. So.
And Western Auto stores are still kind of around, I think. They were Gamble's at one time, right?
I don't know. I don't know if, I'm trying to think if
we've got a Western Auto in Worland, Wyoming that sells appliances and stuff. Or at least that's what they go by.
Right.
So.
What's interesting, so you can see the wood floors here, how the wood is like flat this way.
Uh-huh.
So if you go across the street where Blue Beer is now, underneath, the boards are this way. They're stood up. Just
really?
stacked. Yeah, out of the wood. And the walls are that way. They had so much wood back then.
But this is doing better than Bowie Beer. We just rode the trolley, and they said the Bowie Beer caved in, and there was a big rush to the bay to collect all the
cans and the labels. Yes, yeah. Luckily, they opened up just across the street there. You can still go over there again. But yeah, so that caved in. That's yeah. They say they're going to fix it.
They say they're going to fix it?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
They got so much stuff going on. They just bought out the pilot distillery, so they're expanding that down there too.
Okay, we can hear people walking in the shop up above us.
Yeah.
Floor squeaks.
Yes.
So look at the design of the wall right here.
Yes, that is it.
That is really neat.
I'll talk about that in a second. So this is Western Auto, where Western Auto would have been. There's also men's apparel clothing. You can see all the coat hangers.
The coat hangers, yes.
That's why all that was there. But yeah, since you noticed this is really cool. Look how bright this is from these glass tiles.
Oh, wow. Those ones there are really clear, too.
Yeah, for sure.
And there's probably, 60 of them in that panel that are 2.5 by 2.5 square glass panels that are in there?
More than that, because it's 9 by 10 or something. Yeah,
maybe 100 of them.
Yeah, what's cool about this glass tile, it's bigger than most of the ones you'll see.
Right.
And those are all original glass tiles. They haven't been replaced. And the light it's letting in.
And they haven't discolored, like they turned purple and stuff.
Right. No, they are a little bit, but not as bad. Yeah.
Right.
Which is interesting because some of them haven't, the silver salmon, because they got this big awning that's been over them. So theirs have been really preserved. But this one, I don't know why. It's just right out in the middle. This actually right here, I'll show you a little later on a picture of this. That was a basement window at one time. So remember the first wall I was talking about, Astoria burned down, built on top of it. So this here used to go like down, down, build on top, burn down, build on top, and they actually end up covering that thing. And then even this, I don't know if this is just bad brickwork or if there's a shelf or maybe something. It's kind of hard to tell if there was something else here. And so if you go up 10th Street, right around Franklin, there's some apartment buildings, and it's kind of the same thing. You can see the windows. But as the street is so steep, it goes up, it starts blocking the windows up.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So if you're inside, you might only have half a window. And then the next building only has a quarter. And I've been in the other one, you look, and you're just looking at nothing. So
and this brick wall that we're looking at, it has like an archway over a window that sits right at floor level. Mm-hmm. And so the second building there's several of them coming down this hallway.
Yep.
Wow. Yep. But that other one, no, I guess this one down here has the little shelf above it too, right?
Does it have a little thing? Yeah, it might.
This one doesn't have the shelf, but...
And we have albino spiders down here. Yeah, and there's another archway.
And so you say you've got 30 blocks of underground tunnels. How much of it is accessible to you guys?
Just what we own, mainly with the businesses that access. What we have a little more than most people is because we're on a corner.
Okay.
So we own each side. We're usually a store is just on the front, so they just own in the front.
Right.
But since we're on a corner, we almost have a block on each side. That makes it kind of unique. But most businesses, and they're blocked off because of the Seaside Boys. They came down around Astoria's local boys, the Mole Gang. They'd come down and, like you just said, they just changed clothes on the mannequins, changed price. Yeah, mischief, And that's when they started shutting the tunnels off to keep people out from going in and robbing them.
So there's not much access to any of the other tunnels at all?
Not legally, yeah. Oh, yeah, you can see people walking across.
Yep.
Yeah, you see that. That's pretty cool. And then we'll go up through here. Just be a little careful here.
Okay. We're coming up into another little tunnel that's about 5 foot wide probably. We just stepped up into another little section here.
And you can see another one of those braces I was talking about.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
in really good shape there. That's
And these braces go how far to the other side
to
of
the
the
other
street?
side of the street, you'll find another one.
So they're like, 100 feet long?
Oh, yeah, at least I would say, yep.
And they're what's holding the whole wall structure so that the town doesn't cave in another time since it's not built on wood piers.
Right.
Wow.
And you'll see how the brick, like if you go on the other side, remember you ducked under here, the brick wasn't here. And this brick, it's here to keep people out. You know, if they did get into these tunnels, they wouldn't be able to come in under this side.
Wow.
And then you can see just how it's the process. Yeah. And see, that one's not as bad. This one, and then that one's been down.
And what he's showing is a beam made out of concrete that is holding and supporting all of the upper structures, but the rebar is rusting out and rotting out, and it's breaking these pillars down. Do they have any plans of shoring these up in any way, or do they just kind of think it's going to cave in here in another 100 years and they don't care?
I think it's probably okay. I haven't heard of any plans to rebuild it. But yeah, like I said, the interesting thing is the business is actually on the sidewalks. So it's up to them to fix this.
And we're going right underneath the sidewalk right now.
Yeah.
So is there much shifting going on in the structures up above, or are they all really stable?
It just really varies where you're at. If you have a house like my house up in the top of the hill, it definitely slants. You go to my house, it slants. All my doorways are slanted,
right,
like this. So yeah, there are some areas where they're watching. It just kind of depends if you're in the slide area. So you can look, if you want to look down that, put your flashlight down there. Yeah, you won't see the end of the tunnel on that one.
But you've got all your utilities and everything else running all the way down here.
Yeah, like I said, when Astoria rebuilt, they're the first city in the U.S. to run all their electrical lines underground.
And so the city has access to all of these tunnels in order to...
Yep.
But what a deal. I mean, they've got such easy access to everything that they're doing.
Mm-hmm. And then you can see where it crosses. So that's 11th and Commercial. You kind of see where it makes a crossing of the street. Same thing, that tunnel, if you went up, it's, pretty much wherever you wanted to in Astoria. But most of your businesses that have this, it's nice. It's cement. It's used for storage sometimes. It's just kind of random of what you'll find. And this just was a dumping ground for whatever reason. But I'd say most of them are nice. They've been finished.
There's even a chair down here.
Right, yeah.
As another curiosity point, do you end up with homeless finding these tunnels and ending up down in here? Or does Astoria not really have much of a homeless problem? I know like Las Vegas and some of those places, all of these tunnels or underground places are just full of people.
Yeah, we do have a lot here. The tunnels, honestly, they've been sealed off pretty good. From every once in a while, there's a few little areas, but nothing like a major area that they'll get into something like this. And when they do, we have to put up bars, chain link fence to keep them from coming back in.
And what about rodents and raccoons and that kind of stuff? Did they end up in here at all?
I have not seen a rat down here. We'll see a raccoon every now and then. Actually, a raccoon, they love our red licorice. They get into our licorice jars. But yeah, I've never seen a rat down here. They used to have a rat problem, but not no more around here. Because that was when they had all the canneries, 30-plus canneries on the waterfront. They didn't have sanitation, so they were just cutting the fish up, pushing the guts in the river. Low tide, high tide, come back up, they'd push it up. And then it was just rats. Actually, the story had so many rats at one time, they actually called it the Rat War.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 1950. The county health officials actually came to Astoria and they declared it unhealthy. They told them, get rid of your rats. And they actually said they killed 10,000 rats in one day.
Really?
Wow. Yeah. They used, they called them wooden death boxes, which were actually wooden apple crates filled with poison. They spread them out through the town. And they did this for 2 years, from 48 to 50, and they still only figured they killed about 50% of the rats.
Really?
Yeah. Yep.
That's amazing. I would have thought maybe they'd had an infestation of crabs or seagulls or something like that, but I guess the rats make sense also.
Right.
Wow. And as we're walking through here, Chad's finding things and picking it up and looking at it to see what he's found. So this has not been totally explored yet.
Yeah, so this is...
Oh, a token.
Right, exactly.
That's
it's
cool. Look at that.
He just found a token, wiped the top off of it, and it is an ice cream parlor token. Good for one free ice cream cone.
That's cool.
Yeah, Mr. C. So we actually found, I found a whole bag digging around of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and we posted that on Facebook, and they said, yeah, Mr. C's ice cream parlor used to be right up here. And that's just kind of like Jack the Cat. You find the stuff, you know, a bunch of junk, but it's kind of cool. To find that it was actually here. So.
Wow. This is just so cool. And you guys' tour is by far and away probably one of the most fun ones.
Oh, thank you.
That,
we try
that I've done. I mean, you guys are a riot.
Thanks. We try to tell the history in a very unique and entertaining way.
You do a great job.
Thank you. And it's our history is kind of entertaining, you know.
History is always entertaining.
Yep.
But your presentation of Astoria at the very beginning of the podcast was really good all the way on through the tour before. And we really, really enjoyed it.
Oh, thanks. Thanks for coming down.
That's why we're back.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly
It is.
why we're back.
We do get a lot of repeats, or people in town when they have family, they'll bring more people in, and so.
And why wouldn't they? This is fun.
It is. I enjoy doing it. I have a blast. We've been doing it about 5 years now, and we do about 12 to 1,500 people a year. So.
And this is all your tours. Just to reemphasize, are you need to book in advance, because we didn't do that this time. We just showed up, and the tour was pretty much full. You were very kind in letting us come back through, but your tours. What are your hours that you run?
Yeah. So if you go to oldastoria.com,
okay,
that'll take you to the website to buy tickets for it. And in general, we run Saturdays at 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock. And if we're real busy, we'll just keep adding tours on. So it is best to buy your tickets ahead of time, because we do sell out.
Okay.
And sometimes if you just come down, we might be able to get you in, but best is to buy tickets online. Or if you have a private party, you give us a call, go on that website, and we'll do private tours for you at pretty much when you want to do them, the day and the time, and we'll usually fit you in to do private tours. And those are fun, because everybody knows everybody, so then it's even more laughing and more yelling. It's really fun. Yeah.
Cool.
So cool.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, that's all great. I appreciate it again, Chad. Do you have something else you were going to show us?
No, I think that's
okay.
it.
It looked like you were headed somewhere. I really appreciate you and Jeff having this facility, having these tours. Mm-hmm. I appreciate you taking the extra time to show me the extra tour, and that's something that somebody can ask for as a specialty deal.
Yes.
And so there's a little extra kick if you ask, and I appreciate your time. As I finish out all my podcasts, I always say the world is full of wonder. People need to get out and explore. There's a whole world underneath you to see. And everybody have an absolutely wonder-filled day.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
All the roll and go, where am I to go? Meet Johnny, where am I to go? For I'm a young and a sailor lad, and where am I to go?